Hello, and welcome to episode 68 of Missed Mando, Ontario's source for the latest in the disc golf world. I'm your host, Robbie Holden, joined, as always, by my friend and co-host, Sean Galbraith. Shawnee G, how you doing, and what you been up to since our last episode, my friend?
Robbie, it is so great to be back. I missed the last episode. I was very, very bitter that you guys got to interview Nate Sexton without me. Very disrespectful. Let me just say. I had a work trip I had to go on, but I'm glad you guys held it down. I actually listened to the episode, and it was a fantastic interview. How did you get so much time with him? Just incredible. I have done basically nothing since the last month when I was on the show. I was signed up for a tournament. Oh wait, no, I played La Fortune. I played the Yeet and the Heat. I think I came in last place per tradition there. I was supposed to play the Wooden Sky, but I was just in a mess shape. I was not up for playing, so I dropped, unfortunately, which is really too bad because that course looks incredible. We're going to talk with Kat Johnson a little bit later on, and she won that event, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the course from her. And I'm pretty much getting ready for Worlds myself. I'm heading down. I'm on the volunteer team.
I forgot about that. I forgot you were on the team.
Yeah, I'm the assistant volunteer coordinator. I'll be helping out Chainlink's Karahovius, and Jeff McKeegan will be down there. Some Toronto boys will be there as well. Andrew Kavanaugh and some others. Geo Noseworthy will be there. Anyway, it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I head down on Saturday, and I'll be there the full week. I can't wait. It's Worlds Week, basically. Let's go. What about you? What have you been up to?
I have been up to absolutely nothing disc golf related since our last show when you weren't on the last time, but I of course mentioned to Galen that coming off a win at the Northern Ontario Championships, which I'm still jazzed about that. I actually did just make the decision the last night, I think, to last minute sign up for the Sandy Hollow Open coming up this weekend. So I'm just getting excited for that. I've played every year the Sandy Hollow Open for a while now, I'm pretty sure. And I wasn't going to do it this year, was going to completely shut down till Provincials, but got the itch to go out and play in a tournament. I might get the opportunity to play with friend of the show, Alistair Robertson, in his first ever MA1 event. He's signed up for MA1 out there at Sandy Hollow, so that could be a lot of fun. If I do get the opportunity to play with him, which, I mean, we'll both be on lead card second round, so I'll get to play with him. And I know Shawnee G is going to roll his eyes when I say this, but I got to see one of my favorite bands of all time last week, and am still riding a high. I got to see Rush in concert. I know Shawnee G has been making fun of me, saying sorry for your loss and all this stuff, but I absolutely love Rush. I have since I was a kid. My dad absolutely loved Rush. I mean, my mom too. But I got to go with my dad, which was also amazing. I haven't really been to many concerts with my dad in my life, even though he's a musician. When I was born, he was a touring musician. Still kind of will jokingly make comments at me that he's not a musician anymore because he had me. So he's got music's in my blood. So it was awesome to go and see that with my dad, and see sad as a drummer, very sad, of course, to not. I never got the opportunity to see Neil Peart in my lifetime. But Annika Niles, the replacement drummer that they've brought in, she is a goddamn beast behind the kit. So that was a ton of fun. But other than that, I have been up to absolutely nothing. And yeah, I got nothing else to add. So let's jump into this episode. We've got a lot of stuff to get into. We've got a bunch of tournament breakdowns, of course, but first we are going to send it over to our feature interview for this episode, and we are very excited to welcome back to the show for the first time since episode 3, all the way back on April 3rd, 2024, 2.5 years ago. Crazy how time flies. It is an honor to welcome back to the show Kat Johnson, and we will be right back here on Missed Mando. Now, our next guest last joined us all the way back on episode 3 on April 3rd, 2024. And we were somehow even more of a half-assed operation back then. And though Sean tried his best, she never got the true Missed Mando intro she deserves, and we cannot let that stand. So without further ado, our next guest officially joined the PDGA in 2020 after playing 2 events in 2016 and 2017. And after 6 wins in FA1, she went pro in 2021, collecting her first pro win that same year at the Winter Farms Grand Open B tier. She got 3 wins in 2023, 1 in 2024, 3 in 2025. But 2026 has been her best year yet, collecting 5 wins so far, including her last 2 events in a row, Yeet in the Heat, and most recently, the Wooden Sky. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the Missed Mando podcast from Toronto, Ontario, Kat Johnson. Kat, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. Great
It
to be
is
here.
a
Episode
pleasure.
3.
Episode 3. It is crazy to think we had you on for a USW DGC mega show where it was, I think it was 5 guests total. So you and 4 other ladies we had on that had all been down at USW DGC. I think in Texas, I want to say.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
exactly.
that was the one at
Texas.
Sprinkle Valley in Austin. Yep.
Right, right. So it has been quite a while. It is good to have you on and catch up. And we may have talked about this a bit when we last had you on, but it was so long ago and we were so young as a podcast that I think it's worth revisiting. You joined the PDGA in 2020, but actually have tournaments listed on your page in 2016 and 2017. So when did you first start playing disc golf, and who or what got you introduced to the sport?
So I first started playing probably around 2015. Um, and I got started kind of on a whim, like kind of through Ultimate. So I was playing like competitive Ultimate at the time, and we play a lot of our like league games at Sunnybrook Park in Toronto in the West End. And if you know kind of like the geography of the area, you know that ET Seton is kind of connected, just kind of on the other side of that area. So I think one day my husband Cody and I were just walking through ET Seton, and we noticed, these funny looking metal baskets, and we were like, hey, what's up with that? So we looked it up and discovered that they were Frisbee related. And naturally, being the Frisbee tossers that we are, we decided to give it a go. And yeah, we're playing ever since. It took me a little while to like really get into it. Like I was just all about Ultimate at the time, playing lots of like tournaments and like playing lots of leagues. So that was taking up a lot of my time. But slowly but surely, I got more and more into it. Cody had convinced me to play like a tournament, which was my first tournament ever. Was 2016. I think it was like the Ontario Women's Disc Golf Championships at Bronte. So yeah, that was my first disc golf tournament ever. And then my next one wasn't until the next year, and then a bit of a pause in between. And then I come back in 2020, like just raring to go, fully invested in the sport, ready to get, like level my game up and get more competitive in it. And that was the year that COVID hit. So just coincidentally, that was the year I was planning on like really giving disc golf a go. And then COVID hit and basically, put Ultimate on pause. So then that just made me, enabled me to focus on disc golf completely. So yeah, it was just serendipitous. But yeah, now here I am, still playing.
How much of your sort of disc sports life is Ultimate versus disc golf?
So I still play Ultimate a fair bit. Like I play League 2 nights a week, sometimes 3. And I actually have a game tonight. So a lot of it, I'm still very much in the Ultimate community. I don't like compete as much. So like I'm not part of like a club team anymore. Like that kind of, I haven't done that since pre-COVID, and like maybe casually played a world championship since then, but just like on a pickup team. But Yeah, I'd say it's like about a third ultimate and like two-thirds disc golf at the moment. But I can't quite quit ultimate. It's still my first love. So, and
So,
lots of my friends and you know, my husband Cody still plays. So
and it's a nice bit of exercise too. Disc
yes.
golf is not the most not the most amount of exertion you can physically do.
That's why
I
I don't
mean,
play Ultimate.
This is why I don't play ultimate as well. Yeah. No.
it's kind of like my only like my cardio for the week, and disc golf's kind of like my cool down. So yeah, it's a nice mix to have both frisbee related sports like offer very different kind of things. Yeah, good, lots of benefits on both sides.
Well, we want to definitely encourage people to go back to episode 3 to watch your interview. We learned so much about you back then and your how you came into the sport and its relationship to ultimate and things like that. Really, really good to get to know you. Let's talk today about your 2026 season, which has been off to a fantastic start. You've only had a single event where you placed outside of the top 4, and that was the Oakland County Championships in Michigan. But that was a DGPT Q series, and you cashed coming in 7th place.
Yeah.
Fantastic finish. In fact,
Thank
you've
you.
cashed at all but 4 events this year. Now, for something like the OCC, when you're playing against a bigger and perhaps a stronger field of players and ones that you may not be familiar with, does that change your game or your strategy or how you approach an event like that at all?
No, not really. I mean, I do really enjoy playing events on like new courses and meeting new people, playing with new players and just kind of seeing other people's game. That I really enjoy that. So that wouldn't doesn't affect my strategy at all. I just kind of try to play to the best of my abilities, play to my strengths on whichever courses are part of the event. So that doesn't necessarily change my strategy. I'm always just striving to play the best round I can. Like I don't view it as like I'm competing against other competing against other people or like stronger people. Like that part doesn't affect me. I more so just enjoy that aspect and meeting new people and getting to see other people's play styles. So yeah, it all probably has more of a positive effect than anything. So yeah.
That event went down, as I said, in Michigan. So it was on
Mhm.
toboggan, and it was on a couple with Bald Mountain, I think.
Yes.
Um, how I'm not sure if you can hear. My
Yeah.
lovely
Hi,
dog Maddie is in
Maddie.
the background. Yeah,
Yeah.
uh she likes to, at some point in the evening she will just go into the bathroom and start randomly barking at nothing. We call it she's recording her podcast. Um and so yeah, so she picked a great time to record her podcast. But anyway, so you were at Toboggan, you were at Bald Mountain, which I understand is a
Mhm.
pretty tough course. Um
Yes.
uh how did you find those courses worked with your game?
So with toboggan, I think it works better to my game. I do like the elevation, and I've played toboggan previously at D-Glow like many years back, probably like 4, 5 years back now. So I do really enjoy toboggan, the elevation, the distance. Still pretty challenging. So it definitely tests me in a lot of ways, but I think that plays more to my uh usual like comfort zone. Bald Mountain is very wooded, very technical. And that's where I normally have struggles on. And it's on top of that, it's just a tough course in general. Especially there's like a couple holes that kind of kicks everyone's butts. But I still think like despite that, I played pretty well on bald, except for like there's one hole, the last hole, hole 18. I'm sure if you looked at like the scoring average, everyone kind of struggled on that one. But yeah, I still think I played well despite that type of course being my most kind of challenging.
Speaking of some challenging courses, there is a new course in Ontario that you just played recently that I haven't got to see it yet, but I have heard that it is pretty tough.
Hmm.
That being, of course, I believe it's called The Rock, which
Yes.
was the host of the Wooden Sky. You also played, and this is kind of getting into what I mentioned in your intros, that you took down your last two events, getting wins at Wooden Sky and at La Fortune, which is also another pretty challenging course. I actually haven't been back to La Fortune since I ran into you there during, I guess it would have been like 2 years ago, the eclipse.
Oh,
And
yes.
we weren't the only ones out there that had the idea of going out for a round of disc golf and watching the eclipse from the fairway. But that was actually the last time I have been to La Fortune. I haven't seen the Rock yet. So how would you kind of compare the two courses, or are they just totally different?
Oh my. Oh yeah, they're totally different.
Yeah.
Um, La Fortune's kind of like mostly a park style course with some like, some wooded holes thrown in, and it's on the shorter side. The Rock is kind of interesting. It's like a mix of long technical holes, um, as well as some low, like a combination of long and short wooded holes with lots of elevation, lots of OB, lots of like really nice open fair wooded lines, some really fun like island greens or peninsula greens mixed in, really challenging, pretty long, and some very tough pars. So there's like very specific landing zones you have to hit, like very technical in that sense. So you need like distance, you need control, you need accuracy, everything. Just it's it's very demanding, physically, mentally, patience wise as well. 21 holes. I didn't realize that going into the event until I got to my practice round the day before the event, but it was 21 holes. So 2 days of 21 holes. That can be pretty strenuous. So yeah, no, but I really enjoy the course. It's beautiful. So kudos to Oz, Dennis, the whole team that put together that course. It's amazing. Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah, I've so far heard only great reviews for that course. People saying, top five in Ontario course,
Mhm.
which is really awesome to hear. So I'm very excited to get there. I'm also at some point very excited to get back to La Fortune, which of course it has been forever since it's hosted a PDGA sanctioned tournament. I probably should have researched before this when the last tournament they held there was. I don't know off the top of my head, but it has been years. So as
Yeah.
somebody that I know has played the Fortune before, how was it to actually be out there and playing in a more competitive aspect?
It was great. Yeah, I've been like looking forward to a tournament there for so long, like pretty much as long as I've known and played the course. So it was great. Yeah, just honestly, I feel like tournaments like really help me lock into my game. So,
Mm.
you go out there on an average, like on a casual round, and you're just kind of throwing some fun shots, just trying to do cool things and shoot well. But in a tournament, you're kind of just like, okay, this is the game plan. I'm gonna stick to it, gonna try to execute the shots. They threw in some OB, which is not like typically you don't play with OB on the Fortune, so that was an added challenge and like an added level of difficulty. Definitely added some extra pressure and extra stress, but managed it pretty well. Just try to execute some shots, some basic shots, and yeah, it fared pretty well with that. But no, it was great to have an event there finally. So big thanks to Ange and Chris for making that happen because yeah, it kind of like made my well, disc golf dreams come true a little bit, and yeah, because I've loved that course ever since I've played it for the first time. So yeah, it was super fun to play in an event. Yeah.
It is truly a hidden gem course. I think when the first year
Hmm.
that I did the Mist Mando course vote, I think the biggest shock to me was La Fortune came in at number 5, I think. Not to say that it didn't deserve it. I just didn't know that it was like that well known as such a great course because you never see events there. And I never really
Yeah.
hear about people going out there all that often. So the people do know it's a great course, but it's so good to see events back there. I'm with you on casual versus tournament rounds. I'm too much of a goofy guy in a casual round to do anything remotely successful. Not that I really do anything successful during tournament rounds either, but that's a whole different conversation. So the Fortune and the Rock, obviously very different courses. Was there anything particular in your game that was working well on both that like translated, or was your game plan and like what you were throwing entirely different as well?
I would say my game plan was like a little different for both courses just because they're both kind of different courses, different strategies. I find that like there's a little bit more like shot variation at La Fortune. So different kind of like there's forehand lines, there's backhand flex lines, backhand turnovers, like all sorts of different kind of shots. But at Wooden Sky or at the Rock, it's kind of more can you throw straight and far and like land in the middle of the fairway. So like, and what disc is going to do that for you? And that's kind of I just kind of went with the disc that did that for me there versus La Fortune. It was just kind of figuring out what discs will fly, like kind of the line that I need to throw on every hole. So a little bit different, but the key kind of similarity is just kind of preparing in advance, planning out my strategy, planning out my discs. I like to do like a hole breakdown for every course and like write out exactly what disc I'm going to throw, what shot I'm going to throw, where I'm aiming, things like that. So that's like one less thing to think about during the tournament round. So I can just focus on like, hey, just use that disc, trust your shot, trust the disc, execute the shot, and that's it. Less things to think about. Makes it easier.
So let's talk a little about the Wooden Sky now. Were you able to get many practice rounds in before the event?
I was just able to get one practice round in the day before the event. Yeah, my schedule between like Ultimate and Women's League and stuff like that is pretty hectic. So Friday was kind of the only day that worked out. So I just booked it right after work, drove like for 2 hours to the course, try to fit in as many holes as I could before the sunset, and just managed to squeak a practice round in. So yeah, literally just the night before was my first look at it, which I'm glad I got out and was able to get out and do that because that's a tough course to play blind because there's a lot of kind of specific zones you have to land in, some blind shots, like some really long holes. So it's really helpful to know what to throw and like what the game plan is. So yeah.
For the many people who have not yet had the opportunity to play it, I think, including myself, I wasn't feeling well enough to play the event that weekend. But from what limited I saw, it looks like it's very challenging. It's quite raw still, and
Yes,
it has OB everywhere. And if you land off the fairway, your disc is basically gone in the rough. That sounds about right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like especially the first like 7 holes, 6, 7. Sorry, I just had to set myself up there. Um, but yeah, those first few holes have a lot of like long grass, a lot of rough, a lot of OB, very easy to lose discs. Once you get into the woods though, like once if you're off the fairway, depending on where you are, it's not a huge deal. Like you can scramble, you can find your disc. So yeah, it's just more so the real dangers in the first few holes.
How much of the course were you able to actually, cram into a practice round? Or were some of the holes you were playing a little blind?
I got all the
You got
holes
all
in.
21 in.
All 21. Yeah,
Wow.
it was chaos and kind of like a little rushed towards the end. We're just kind of maybe not throwing as many practice shots, not doing as many practice putts, but yeah, like towards the end we were kind of like speed running some holes, which is like unfortunate because hole 18 is the final hole, but it's also one of the more difficult holes, and that's not one that you want to kind of rush through, but managed to get the gist of that. So yeah, I managed to somehow like figure out all the holes and figure out what I needed to do, or at least kind of like what I needed to do to at least get par or like play clean. There's probably some more birdie lines that you can hit, but that's for the next time. Yeah. I think par on that course is really great. I think par ended up being like even par ended up being rated almost 1,000 from longs. So that goes to show you
Yeah.
how tough it is. Yeah.
You shot in round 2. So first of all, you clearly had it dialed in for your second round. You shot a 955 average, which is 45 above your rating. Round 1, it looked like maybe you're still getting a little used to the course, especially the first 6 or 7 holes, where
Mhm.
there's a lot of that OB and it's tight lines and it's landing zones.
Yeah, it was super windy too, which was
It
not
was
how
also,
the
yeah,
practice round went. So that was an
no,
added challenge for those open holes, especially
yeah.
like hole 2 with the big island that you have to, or sorry, the little island that you have to hit, and the wind was tough. But yeah, yeah.
Round 2, though, did the wind die down and you really figured you had this course dialed? Because you shot an amazing +2, which was 978 rated. Give people a sense of how tough this course is. Um, what was clicking between round 1 and round 2 that made you like it gave you that really big boost in keeping it like you only had 1 OB stroke on round 2, you had 3 on round 1. Like it was a much cleaner game.
Hmm.
The back half you went basically even or -1.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the wind quieting down a little bit helped, especially on hole 2, which I think I managed to clean up and get a par
You
on
did.
versus my double in the first
Yeah.
round. So that
Yep.
really helped. And I don't know, I think maybe just having played it the day before, like just knowing kind of a few corrections that needed to be made, really helped, and just really trying to keep an even keep it cool, like keep myself even keel in terms of um I don't know, just in terms of my game, like try not to overthink things and just trust myself, trust my discs. There was a lot of waiting on every hole, so that was an added challenge too, like just too much time to, watch other people play the hole and like overthink your own shots. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay focused, stay calm, and every time I stepped up to my disc or to the tee, just try to execute the shot I knew I needed to do, and ended up working out. So it's always nice when that happens. So I guess like some days it's just clicking, and my putting was a lot better. I hit some pretty clutch circle 2 putts, you know, to save par, for example, or just, get birdies. So that was also helping, just making those big putts, and even just making like the routine ones, which has kind of been a struggle throughout my career. Being able to make those more often has really been improving my rounds and my ratings at tournaments and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of like those are the key things, I'd say.
So you've got a practice round and 2 tournament rounds in at the Rock now. Where do you think that this course will sort of rank in the pro level courses in Ontario?
Oh, pretty high up. Pretty high up. Um, it's really hard to say because there's so many good yeah, so many good tournament courses and championship level courses, but
We're really
definitely the
spoiled.
top 10, very likely the top 5. Like people are right. I think it's gonna give like some of the top courses a run for their money, especially as it opens to the public and more people play it. It is pretty challenging, so I don't know if that's gonna sway the votes a little bit, but I'd say for people who love a good challenge, and um, yeah, I think they're gonna love this kind of course. It's just like so. Like the whole time I was playing it, I was thinking like this is so much like the wooded courses in the States. In Canada, we tend to have a lot of like wooded courses with like very, very narrow, tight, very short technical lines. But here it's like really long fairways, wide gaps. Like there's still gaps to hit and like fairways to hit and lots of OB, lots of challenges, but it really reminded me of a lot of like the wooded courses I played in the States. Like really reminded me actually of Bald Mountain that I recently played at Oakland County. Like similar style, like challenging but tough, and fair though, and it's fun wooded lines. Yeah.
Well, I certainly can't wait to get out there as somebody that does love a good challenge. Me personally, I always say my top two courses in Ontario are P15 and Cedar Creek. Just two
Mhm.
very challenging but very rewarding courses when you're executing your lines and you're on your game. It's
Yeah.
so much fun to be out there. So I absolutely cannot wait. There's multiple people now, including you, that have said top 10, top 5 in Ontario, type of thing. So I am very, very excited. Speaking of courses, I am curious, and this is something that we generally ask most people that we have on. What like course styles do you prefer better? Like where do you find your either playing your best or finding the more enjoyment on a course? You can kind of take it whichever way you want, but I know you have success on you've had great finishes at Foxwood on more of a ball golf course. Obviously, great success on courses that are park style like La Fortune, real wooded and heavy OB like the Rock. Or do you like something like Flying Armadillo down in Texas? Is that more your style? Where do you find you're having the most fun, or like I said, or the most success?
Well, definitely the most fun would be like, of course, like Flying Armadillo, which is
Yeah,
like
of course.
just trick shots and like fun like challenges. It's just like a mini golf version of a disc golf course. Yeah, that course was super fun. Good times there. Um, yeah, the most success I guess like on park style courses or slightly wooded courses. For surprisingly, because I've never been or like traditionally I haven't been a big wooded course player. Like I feel like I really when I first started playing, I focused mostly on like power shots, so I never really developed like the control part of my game, or the more technical shot shapey part of my game. But um, like playing enough tournaments in Ontario really forces you to develop that and learn that. So throughout over time, like throughout the years, I've learned to play wooded style and park style courses more, and I think lately those are the types of courses that I've had a little bit more success at. Yeah.
And you're getting ready to head to Worlds next week in Michigan, where you'll have two pretty different style
Yeah.
courses to play. As I'm sure, no doubt, people are aware by now that the event is going down at Toboggan, and the Black Locust course, which I'm not sure people are familiar with. I know you've
Mhm.
played Toboggan this year, and you like it. He said it works well with your game. You like the elevation. Have you played Black Locust before?
Yes. So when I was up out that way for Oakland County, we were able to play a practice round at Black Locust. Just a quick sneak preview. We played kind of like the current like non-worlds layout. So we got a glimpse at some of the holes, but not all of the holes that will be in place for worlds because I know they put in um like a few temporary holes like that are brand new. So we didn't get to play those, but we got a good idea of like the first kind of half of the course. Yeah, it's very, very different from Toboggan. Very wooded, very technical, a little bit shorter, but I mean, I haven't seen the world's layout yet, but it seems like they made it like very challenging. Especially there's one hole that you're gonna hear about a lot probably. Hole 15, I think it is. Yeah, that's I'm scared already of that hole. I haven't played it yet, but I have no idea how that hole's gonna go down. Hopefully don't lose too many discs there.
So hole 15. So I've played Black Locust. I haven't played. It's one of my Black Locust, like the regular Black Locust. It's the one that you're playing is Black Locust Green, a
Mhm.
modified version of it. I think they added like 6 holes along the lake side.
Yes.
And those were apparently part of the original Black Locust or a version of it back in
Oh,
the
okay.
day, and they were removed and they've been put back in or thereabouts for Worlds.
Cool.
I love Black Locust. I think it's a great course. I love. You're right. It's heavily wooded. It almost has a bit of a Northwoods Black kind of feel in
Okay.
sort of. I mean, not in terms of its sort of length and like trees in the middle of the fairwayness, but like the fairways are fairly narrow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got canopies. The woods are cleared, but they're punishing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you really want to stay on the fairway there. And I
Yep.
love the look of it, like these grass fairways through the woods.
Yeah, it's very
It's
pretty.
great.
Yeah.
Hole 15 that you just mentioned. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to hear about it. So for those who haven't looked at the caddy book, which is basically probably everybody except you, hole 15, uh, it sort of goes down a little bit, then turns a little bit, sort of 45 to the left. There's OB all around it, and then there's a water crossing to an island.
Yeah.
This is going to be a signature hole. This is going to be fantastic. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this thing actually plays.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's going to set up very well for the right-handers, and I hope the lefties have a power forehand. I think it's going to be. I think Black Locust. I think is going to surprise people on how good this course actually is. It's a great
Oh, yeah.
course. I'm very glad that they've included it for Worlds.
Same here. Yeah. It's a really like stark contrast to Toboggan, which I think
Very
will be a
different.
nice palate cleanser and really test like every aspect of one's game. So, yeah, I'm excited to play it.
Do you like it when tournaments have two courses and they're just very, very different styles of courses?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I enjoy like a little variety and like I said, just testing out different like players like full range of their game, like if they have every kind of shot, shape, or testing out their distance and various abilities. I think that's like a mark of a really good tournament. Sometimes it doesn't work out in my favor personally, like if it's a course like Bald Mountain, that's really challenging and can be punishing if you're not really on, but I just think it's so much fun and especially for Worlds, I think it'll be a really good course to really test the players out there. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And we are very, very excited to watch. It is obviously one of the most anticipated world. Well, I say that coming off of probably the most anticipated worlds last year being the European World Championships. But this has obviously been a very hyped year. There's also a lot going on in terms of off the course stuff, which the Ledgestone team and the whole Worlds team has been promoting for a while now. So off the course, what are you really looking forward to doing while you were down at the event? Are you doing any side events that's a part of it? Are you going to go to, I heard there's like a 7,000 square foot vendor village that's going to be set up out there and a whole bunch of stuff going on. So what are you excited to about the event off the course?
Oh yeah, there's just so much to do and check out. So I'm hoping to hit up as much as I can. Definitely looking forward to maybe attending the disc golf night at the Detroit Tigers game.
Yeah.
I'm not like the most baseball person, but I just think it's just like a fun tie-in event. And I think like if you attend, you get like a disc or something or a player's pack. So that's super fun. Maybe doing some of the side competitions as well, like maybe the long drive. I definitely don't have like the same distance as, a lot of the top throwers, but it'd be fun to kind of throw my hat in the ring, perhaps. We'll see.
Straight.
I heard there might be a mini course as well, which is super fun. And yeah, like checking out the vendors, checking out there's also a players only fly mart going on as well. So that's exciting. And yeah, there's just so much to do. Like I feel like I don't even know all the events yet. It's just jam-packed full of action. So hopefully when we get closer to the date, you know, the tournament staff will send along more of the deets because yeah, I'm very excited for the other stuff. I think there's also a drone show Yeah, a drone show
Ooh.
happening. Yeah. So yeah, lots to do. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun week.
They are going really all out. And I was just setting up another question in my head and then went totally. Oh, what I was gonna ask is it's always interesting asking a pro this because obviously everybody that you're at the event who's in your division, especially at somewhere like Worlds, is a competitor to you. But there's also, there is a difference between a local pro and somebody that is touring full time. And I'm sure that, you can still get that little bit of fangirlness when you meet somebody. Is there anybody that you haven't met in the field that you were excited to maybe get the chance to have the opportunity to meet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So many people. I'm always starstruck when I attend like these Worlds events or like the DGPT events because it's all like people I watch and look up to like on Jomez and on coverage. So, oh yeah, there's so many. I've met a bunch already, but maybe some of the Europeans like Silva would love to meet. Um, yeah, like Evelina, Henna, all the Europeans and some of the up and coming like junior or not junior, but like the younger phenom players that are really
Yeah.
hitting the scene hard. Yeah, that'd be cool to meet and play with them and just like it's cool to just meet anyone that's kind of like outside our region because I play a lot of local tournaments, so I play with a lot of the same folks, which is fantastic, and I love the local FPO crew, but it's always really refreshing to like travel outside of the bubble and yeah, meet other players from elsewhere. I remember playing like last one of the worlds I was at, I got to play with folks from like Japan and like other countries. So that'd be really cool to just meet people from all over the world. Should be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It was when I just went out to nationals out in Grand Prairie and got to play. I'm so used to everybody just being from Ontario, and ironically enough, I did get paired with Nathaniel Renton in round one, somebody that I play with maybe more than anybody. We seem to get
That's how it
paired
goes.
all the time. Yeah, which is not a complaint either because Nate is the absolute man, and that means that I got to have his parents walk around with us for a bit of the round as well. And they are
Nice.
just fantastic to be around. But beyond that, I'm pretty sure I basically got no other Ontario players on my card. Had somebody that was actually from New Zealand that was just
Oh,
over, like recently moved to Canada, and just getting to interact and talk to people, hear their stories, how they got into
yeah.
disc golf, all that sort of stuff is always my favorite. So I hope you get a lot of great card mates and a lot of great new card mates that you can learn all about down at Worlds.
Thank you. Yes, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
When do you arrive in Detroit?
So the plan is to head up on Saturday morning. So Friday night I'll drive down to Windsor, meet up with Chantal, and then we'll both drive out together on Saturday morning. And yeah, just jump right into the practice rounds right off the bat. Yeah, and then practice pretty much almost every day leading up to the event from there on out. So yeah.
You've got the long drive on Sunday. You've got the putting competition on Sunday. I think disc golf at the ballpark. I think that's Sunday night. I think
That one's
maybe I forget.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, that Monday.
Yeah.
There's so the downtown disc golf at Eastern Market that is also on Monday. There are not many spots left to sign up, so you want to jump in on that.
Oh, right.
Um,
Thank you.
no problem. You can find it on Disc Golf Scene. That will be pretty cool. That'll be like playing disc golf around like the distillery district kind of thing.
Oh, cool. I didn't
Yeah,
even know that event was happening. So
the
that sounds
Eastern
really awesome.
Market is it's this big outdoor like farmers market kind of thing. Sort of the it's just east of downtown. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think that
Sweet.
looks like a lot of fun. There's 250 spots and 232 are signed up. And you got to sign up for
Woo.
a tee time.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay. Spots are
Yeah,
limited. So I'll have to get
yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
Looks kind of fun.
The clock's
Um,
ticking.
yeah. Uh, so when you're there, you are going to be slinging a lot of Castaplast.
Oh, yeah.
You have been on the Mint team for Team Castaplast for a few years now. I think when we talked to you the last time, way back in episode 3, you were on Team Castaplast then as well. How is that
Mhm.
going?
Oh, pretty great. Yeah. This year I just got promoted to like the team, like so just a step above the ambassador team, which is called the Casa Plasmint. So I got promoted to the kind of like the tour team. So probably the level like one level down from if you were on the pro tour, that level. So yeah, so got a bit of a promotion there. So that's really nice. I've really been enjoying being sponsored by Castaplast and I went full Castaplast this year in my bag. So previous years I've had a mix, but this year I just kind of like dove into it and just went full Castaplast. Really been enjoying that. Really been enjoying throwing their discs and getting to know them and testing out new molds and just seeing all the different discs they have to offer. I've kind of like discovered some new favorites that I probably wouldn't have if I didn't go full bag. So yeah, it's been a really fun journey. And I think like that's probably what's helped me have like such a good year is learning all these new discs and then like really honing them in and then like just throwing them more consistently has been very good for my game this year. So yeah, maybe just
How
shout
much?
out to a few of the molds that I really,
I
really
was just going to
enjoy.
ask.
Yeah, so probably my number one favorite disc right now is the Stig.
Stig.
Um,
Okay. What's
yes,
that?
it's like a flippy mid range. And it's just so nice for like hyzer flips, throwing turnovers. It does everything. Hyzer flip, if you hyzer flip it, it goes like nice and straight for a long time, and they just fly forever. Turnovers, it like holds the angle really beautifully. Um, I really love the Alva, which is kind of a newer mold from Casaplast. It's a flippy distance driver. Um, Same thing that does the same kind of things as the Stig, but flies a little faster, a little further. And then I've also really been enjoying the Falk as well, which is like a neutral
That's a
to flippy
classic.
fairway. Yeah, it's just money in the woods. It's really fun with forehands as well. Like it can do it all. So yeah, those are like my top 3 right now. Yeah.
On a, how much how much does your bag change for a given course or tournament? Do you pretty much bag like the full line every time you go out, or are you customizing your bag with discs depending on the course style?
I probably should do that. I probably should cater to the course I'm playing at or whatnot, but I just like find it a lot easier to just bring my full set and then adjust to the conditions because you never know when you're gonna get like a super windy day or super rainy or like end up in weird spots where you might need to pull out like a utility disc, for example. So I just kind of have the one bag that I use for every course, every event kind of thing. Sometimes I bring backups like of certain discs if I think I'm gonna throw them more in the round, but yeah, pretty much the same bag every time.
I am right with you there. I've never understood. I've got buddies that are before the night before a tournament pulling everything out of their bag and going through and figuring out what they need for the course while I'm just lounging in the chair, watching some Jomez or something on YouTube and enjoying my time because I'm not a lunatic that changes their bag for every tournament. I will also say I now have a nice list of new Castaplasts to dive into. Although the
Hey.
Berg is without a doubt the disc that I throw the most in my bag, there is no disc that gets touched more than the Berg. I've always loved Castaplast plastic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm definitely going to experiment a bit with some of those other discs that you mentioned there. So, Kat, we have had you on for a while. Thank you so much for your time. I got one last question for you. If you could go back to 2020 Kat and give her a piece of advice before her first year in FPO, what would it be? And sort of related to that, what is something that you now understand about playing pro that maybe you didn't when you first went pro?
Oh wow, that is a really good question. Um, I guess kind of one thing that I've learned in my time being pro is that like distance isn't everything. Um, and power isn't everything. And that just goes back to me like when I first started playing disc golf, like my main focus was like, how can I throw farther and like with more power? But then like things like other things in your game suffer, like accuracy, control, touch. So, and that's like there's only so much distance can and power can give you. So definitely I would go back and say, hey, like focus on those controlled shots, like throwing like, not full speed, disking down a bit more. That'll keep you in the fairway. Like anything to keep you in the fairway is kind of the best bet. And definitely drive for show, putt for dough. Putting is arguably, and I didn't realize at the time, but it's arguably the most important aspect of a disc golf game. So definitely honing in on my putting and putting a lot more work into it has helped my game a lot. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of people take for granted is being able to putt and like execute, like give yourself the birdie looks, but then be able to convert on that is huge in pro. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fantastic advice. I know you've got to get to an ultimate game. We gotta let you go, but before we do, we have to hit you with the lightning round questions because we didn't have them the last time you were on the show. Fast answers. What pops into your head? First, softball to start off. What is your favorite course?
Fox Run in Vermont.
Oh, great choice. A little bit of the opposite end of the spectrum, although ironically, we have gotten the same answer for these first two questions. But I've got for you, what's the hardest course you've ever played?
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a really good question. I've played so many. Oh man. Well, Bald Mountain. I feel like Bald Mountain, I guess it's recency bias, but yeah, that was really challenging.
One sport to play or watch other than disc golf, and it can't be ultimate. What are you choosing?
Hockey.
Yes, a good Canadian. What song makes you instantly turn up the volume to max?
Oh. Oh my God. Sorry, I know this is a lightning round, but I can't really think of anything right now. Just something from
I feel like
K-pop. I
us
don't know.
telling it
K-pop.
nice, yes. I feel like us
Jump
calling
by
it the lightning
Blackpink.
round is a little ironic at this point. It's never a lightning round.
You're on a road trip. You're hungry. You need some food. What sign are you hoping to see in the distance?
I don't know, just go with the classic McDonald's. Can't beat the fries, and they have a veggie burger now, so pretty into
Ooh.
that. And their $1 coffee is fantastic. So
Yeah,
quick and easy.
McDonald's fries. McDonald's fries are like a
Ugh.
drug. They're
Oh,
so darn good.
I don't know
What
what they put
movie
in
never
those
gets
things.
old no matter how many times you watch it?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Nice. And of course, the most important one, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Flying, for sure. I dream about it all the time, so that must be it for me. It'd be so cool to just soar above everything and fly around the world and go wherever I want. Airfare these days is so expensive, so that would save me a ton of money.
I hear that. Absolutely. Before we let you go, thank you very much for joining for being on the show with us. Do you have any shout outs or any final comments? The floor is yours.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much to you both for having me, and too bad Galen couldn't make it, but guys, thank you guys very much. It's always a good time. Obviously got to shout out my sponsor Castaplast. They're pretty awesome. Everyone should check them out. Um, my ladies at the Toronto Women's Disc Golf Club. You guys are all amazing. I really truly enjoy Thursday Night League every week. It's just such a pleasure. And Andy over at Queer Disc Golf, like we're pretty involved in the local scene, and I'm a team member, and I really do enjoy representing and being there for the cause. So that's another good shout out. And obviously my husband Cody and all my family and friends who support me throughout my disc golf career and just allow me the space to play tournaments and like just disappear for weekends and like pretty much an entire summer at a time. just trying to chase my dreams and do what I love with disc golf. Can't do it without them. So yeah, lots of shout outs there, lots of love. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I love everyone.
If people want to support you, is there a way that they can help?
Yes. I currently have some fundraiser discs for sale. So if you want to check out my Instagram, my handle is Cat Throws Discs. I have like a link in my bio that you can check out and see what kind of discs I have, and got some pins, stickers, some trading cards, and I'm currently working on some other fun merch as well, some handmade stuff. So yeah, just check out my social media and or just hit me up. That would really go a long way to support my season.
Everybody definitely jump on her socials and pick up some amazing Kat Johnson Castoplast discs. Helps her support the tour, support the local player. Let's go. Kat, thank you so much for joining us again here on Missed Mando. It has been far too long. It will definitely not be this long before we have you back on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always such a blast. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I get to be back sometime soon.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back on Miss Mando.
Well, welcome back to Missed Mando. Thank you so much once again to Kat Johnson for coming on and joining the podcast again. A long overdue reunion with her and a great interview. I hope everybody enjoyed that as much as we did. We are going to move on now to our tournament recaps, and we start our recaps at the newest course in Ontario, The Rock, designed by Chris O'Zolins in Hamilton, Ontario, and opened just in time for a brand new tournament, the Wooden Sky, which was the next stop on the Ontario Tour and saw 168 players across 18 divisions battling it out for a top 3 spot to qualify for Provincials. In FPO, I was going to say newest friend of the show, but she's been a long-time friend of the show, only recently back on the show. Kat Johnson shot a 932 rated +9 in the first round to take a 3-stroke lead over Colleen McInnes and Alicia Hums, who were tied for second. And in the final round, though Colleen was able to shoot a 965 rated +4, Kat was still able to pull away by shooting 68 points above her rating with a 978 rated +2 to take down the win over Colleen, with Alicia finishing in third. This was Kat's 5th win of the season so far. In the MPO division, Thomas Gilbert shot a 1,018 rated -4 in the first round to take a 4-stroke lead over Calvin Rorda and Chris Brown. And in the final round, Thomas was able to leave the field in his dust with a scorching 1057 rated -10, which included a double bogey on the last hole. Could have been like a 1070 something rated -12. But he would go on to take down the win by 11 strokes over Calvin and Brownie, who tied for second. And this was Thomas's 6th win of the season so far in only 8 events played. Over in FP40, Lisa Eshley and Jane Logan were tied for the lead after matching 835 rated +11s. But in the final round, it was Bon Bon who shot the hot round to tie Jane for the lead and sent things to a playoff where Jane would eventually take it down on the first hole for her 4th win of the season. Over in MP40, Pete Chapman started things off with a 985 rated +1 to take a 4-stroke lead over Scott Jameson and Anwar Al-Shawi. But in the final round, Scotty J shot a 1,005 rated -2 to pull off the comeback win, with Greg Grutenboer also shooting a -2 to jump into second, with Pete finishing in third. This was Scotty's 3rd win of the season so far. In the top amateur divisions, Courtney White built a big lead early in FA1, shooting a 924 rated even par in round 1 to take a 10-stroke lead over Brooklyn Okrafka. And she would coast to an 8-stroke win after round 2, with Brooklyn finishing second and Tamara Siwak finishing in third. And finally, in MA1, Jason Day shot a 985 rated +1 in the first round to take a 1-stroke lead over Alejandro Diaziana. But in the final round, Bryce Chudak shot the hot round with a 991 rated even par to move up 4 spots on the leaderboard and take down the win by 3 strokes over Eric Bernhardt, with Michael Walters finishing in third. An incredible first tournament at the Rock. Big congrats to Oz and the whole team there. Since if you're at this part in the episode, I'm assuming you already listened to our interview with Kat Johnson and you heard us talk all about this course. So Shawnee G, let's just throw it on over to you for some of your thoughts coming out of the Wooden Sky.
Definitely going to be a marquee course here in Ontario. And despite how difficult this course is, challenging, let's say, there were still, I believe, 3 aces on the tournament. Amazing. First, we had an MPO, Joe Vanderveen. He bagged the hole 5 longs, 290-foot ace. Beautiful. Then we had an MA2, Gregory Carter, snagging hole 15 from the shorts. It was a 258-foot shot. And then, and we really love saying this, in the women's divisions, we had Beth Blazer, FA50, snagging hole 18 shorts, 205. And this was the pound ace hole. This is, I think, the 6th or so time the pound ace hole has been hit this year. Amazing. She's picking up a pound bag for her amazing shot. So cool, so cool. Well done, Beth. Extra bonus ace there. We also had 2 close battles. We had MA60's John Brinkman take down that division by a stroke over John McLeod, and over an MA2, Gabriel Dixon won by a stroke over Paul Fenney. We love these good battles always, and want to give us a special shout out to White Spruce. My co-host Rob. Come on. You have the script.
I was looking up something because a little spoiler for everybody. Sean has this written out, and I think he wrote the division wrong for who he's about to shout out because I don't think it was MA1.
Helly? What did he win? Did he win MA40?
It must be because I just talked about the MA1 winner in my recap.
Oh,
you were listening. Yeah. If you were listening to me, Sean.
I truly never do listen to you. What's
That's not a shocker.
Not even once. But shame on you for not jumping in instantly with the White Spruce because you knew it was coming. Anyway, White Spruce's Mike Pelly took down his second MA40 win in a row. Yes. This one wasn't close. He won by 11 strokes. We wanted to give Mike Pelly a shout out anyway. We love you, Mike, and we know you're a listener to the show. So
White Spruce averaged 35 points above his rating across 2 rounds too. That's pretty solid.
Solid.
966 average over 2 rounds. Sean couldn't even dream of that.
God, no, it's higher than my highest ever tournament round by a fair bit. It'll be interesting to see as this course gets played in more, as more events happen there, as more rated rounds get played in. Like, it'll be interesting to see how things even out. And as the course just gets beaten in a little bit more and in a little bit more forgiving lines and landing zones, maybe, really can't wait to see how this course evolves and actually get to play the damn thing at some point. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I actually have a outstanding yes from course designer and friend of the show and all around awesome dude, Chris Ozolins, to go out there with him and play around. He can kind of, show me around of the thoughts of the holes. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe bring out at least my phone and take a couple clips with him and put those out on our socials so people can see a bit of what the course is like. I was hoping to do that this weekend, but as I mentioned, I think in our intro, I don't know, I mentioned it at some point in this episode already that I signed up for the Sandy Hollow Open this weekend. Last minute, so I don't think I'll be able to do it this weekend with Oz, but sometime soon I'll hopefully be able to get out there with him, get around in and see it, because like I've said a couple times now, I keep hearing great reviews, and to hear great reviews like that for a course this early, usually courses need to kind of grow and work into what they're going to be. So if this course is going to grow into something that's even better than what I'm hearing now, we are definitely in line for something special here in Southern Ontario. All right, moving on now to our next recap, which takes us to the site of the last Missed Mando Mayhem, Green Lane Sports Complex in Paris, Ontario. But this time for a much more standard tournament than the Mayhem, the Green Lane Open, a PDGA C tier and the next stop on the 2026 Ontario Tour, which saw 153 players over 2 days looking for a podium finish to qualify for Provincials. In FPO, Colleen McInnes shot a 928 rated +3 in the first round to take a one-stroke lead over Brooklyn Okrafka, with Jess Goulet only 2 back of the lead. But in the final round, it was the young gun taking down the Ontario legend as Brooklyn shot a 965 rated -2 to pull off the come-from-behind win, taking it down by 2 strokes over Colleen for her very first FPO win in her career. Absolutely incredible. Congrats to Brooklyn, who still has at least a couple more years of junior eligibility still technically available to her as well, and out here taking down FPO wins over, like I said, Ontario legend Colleen McInnes. So big congrats to Brooklyn there. Over in MPO, Cam Zanini shot a 1,014 rated -6 in the opening round to take a one-stroke lead over Trent Michaud, with Chris Brown only 2 off the lead. It's a lot of missed Mando guests that I just read off there. While in the final round, despite a great push from Brownie with a 1034 rated -9, Cam was able to keep his scorecard cleaner to match the -9 and take down the win by 2 strokes over Brownie, with Greg Grutenboer finishing in third. In MP40, Nash Whitbread shot a 928 rated +3 in the first round to take a one-stroke lead over Alex Scott and Chris Kotick. But in the final round, Chris was able to shoot the hot round with a 946 rated even par to send things to a playoff, where Nash would eventually take down the win on the first playoff hole for his second win of the season. Over in FA1, Tamara Siwak took a 3-stroke lead following an 820 rated +8 in the first round, and she would increase that lead to a 6-stroke win, her first win of the season, with Anna Goulet finishing second and Angelica Haggart finishing in third. It's been a while since I've done a good Angelica on the podcast. That was long overdue. And finally, in MA1, Nathan Brower shot a 1,001 rated -7 in the first round to take a 2-stroke lead over Spencer Young. And in the final round, Nathan was holding his 2-stroke lead after the first 10 holes, but then Spencer went crazy and birdied 7 holes in a row from 11 to 17 to take down the 2-stroke win over Nathan for his first win of the year. That's right, folks. A player we've had on the show for an MPO win where he beat one of the best in Canada, Chris O'Zolins. Winner of an MPO event out here winning MA1 events. What a sandbagger. I love you, Spencer, but I will forever call you a sandbagger. Shawnee G, let's throw it over to you for some of your thoughts coming out of the Green Lane Open.
It's really too bad that the course has been neutered and nerfed by not having Wheels of Mayhem, Archipelagos, Irrational Mandos. But listen, it's none of my business. It's fine. It's a fine course.
Imagine someone reading the PDGA waiver for the Wheel of Mayhem.
How many waivers do you need? We need all of the waivers. Yes, all of them. We need 175 waivers for a Mayhem.
And that's just one hole.
Yeah, exactly. We should submit it just for the lulls. That'd be hilarious. And it should surprise no one who knows Green Lane that there was, in fact, an ace on the weekend. To be honest, I was expecting more than one, and I was not expecting it to be hole 6. It's amazing that The Rock at the Wooden Sky had 3 aces in Green Lane, only had a single one, and that one went to Andrew Weber, MA2. He bagged hole 6, 210-foot shot. Not, straight shot, and then it's off to the right a little bit. Curious what he threw on there.
It gets
It
tucked
is
around
kinda
those
tucked
trees pretty
around.
good. I'm wondering if he's a lefty or if he just has a really sick forehand.
Maybe sick for him. Maybe a little turnover. It's just kind of carried over. I'm
Also could do
curious what
that.
the
That
shot
would be
was.
crazy.
That'd be a beautiful shot. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Andrew. Bagging the only ace of the event. We had some close battles. Love those. Shelly King McKitchen, she took it down on her home course. I think this was her first win on her home course. She took it down by a stroke over Sherry Pashko. Well done. Well done. MA40 went to a playoff, a 3-way playoff between Adam Hussey, Terry Newman, and David Cole. And after only one hole of playoffs, it was Adam who took it down. And then lastly, in MA2, Colin Van Dam won by a stroke over friend of the show, Alistair Robertson, playing in his final MA2 tournament. Now that he has rated out of MA2 and has to play MA1. And again, we will remind you, he is 12 years old. Just an incredible, incredible young talent. And congratulations to Colin and congratulations to Alistair for doing a great job on your final MA2. And now you can start beating Robbie, and I'm very excited for this.
I'm in danger. Insert Ralph Wiggum meme right here. Yeah, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. He's about to start whooping my ass all over the course. Potentially starting this weekend at the Sandy Hollow Open because he is registered in MA1, and I'm hoping that I do get to have him on my card. I unfortunately had to miss that interview which you knocked out of the park with Alistair. I mean, what more can you say? The guy's going to be just hitting 50-foot putts in my face and saying, "Here, you take this. Enjoy your." Well, I'm missing a 15-footer because I'm an awful putter. But anyways, another great event out at Green Lane. I personally love that course, and not just because it hosted a missed Mando Mayhem, and also not just because that's where I got my first PDGA win. It's just a great course and a good time. All right, moving on now to our last recap, which takes us to one of the oldest courses and one of the longest running tournaments in all of Canada, VA Barrie Park in St. Thomas for the 40th Flats Classic, which saw 72 players across 10 divisions battling it out over 3 rounds. In FBO, Sandy Hendel takes down the solo win as the only competitor in the field, averaging 16 points above her rating over 3 rounds, though, including a 955 rated round 2. Over in MPO, St. Thomas's own and Sandy's brother, Martin Hendel, shot a 1050 rated first round and a 1042 rated second round to take a 9-stroke lead over Josh Vandenborg heading into the final round, where a 994 rated neg 6 would take Marty to an 11-stroke win over Justin Muselli and Duncan Farquharson. My apologies for the terrible pronunciation, who finished in third. This was Marty's 5th win of the season so far. Over in MP40, Dave Northrup opened the tournament with a 989 rated neg 7 to take a 1-stroke lead over Pete Chapman, but a 1030 rated neg 11 by Pete in round 2 would launch him to a 5-stroke lead over Dave and Clayton Morgan, who shot a 1017 rated minus 10 to move up into a tie for second. In the final round, Pete would struggle a bit with a 932 rated even par, while Dave shot a 1005 rated minus 7 to jump into second, and Clayton shot a 1015 rated neg 8 to pull off the come from behind win, defending his title from last year. And in MA1, Brian Enns shot a 977 rated neg 6 in round 1 to take a 1-stroke lead over Jason Day, Seth Beacom, and Samuel Hiddink, who were all tied for second. And after round 2, Brian had a 2-stroke lead over Jason with James Chapman 5 off the lead. The final round brought some struggles for Brian, who dropped down to third, while James shot a neg 4 and Seth shot a 1005 rated neg 7 to send things to a playoff. After both players birdied the first hole, Seth was able to get the birdie on the second, which is an incredible birdie to get, by the way. The hole 2 at VA Barry, if I'm thinking right, is a pretty big pump of a par 3. Getting the birdie on that is impressive, and he gets it to take down the amazing comeback win, his first career MA1 win. Shawnee G, let's throw it over to you for any aces, close battles, and the like that you got from the Flats Classic.
If you know VA Barry, you know that there were no aces. It's a very difficult course to ace. There's, I would say, few opportunities. Not many, not zero, but not many, and there were none. And in fact, there was only one close battle. That Robbie didn't highlight. In MA2, Hudson Penner took it down by a stroke over Lyndon Hancock. And that was it. Well done, Hudson, for a fantastic tournament there. I mean, VA Barry, classic course. 40, it's just incredible. The 40th Flats Classic, like the amount of history that has gone down at this event over the years. It is significantly older than you are.
Elaine King has won this event. Scott Stokely has won this event. There's another legend on the MPO side that I'm blanking on. Maybe Avery Jenkins. Someone of that caliber has also come up and won the Flats Classic. It is a legendary tournament,
and it will continue to be. And who will win it next year? Who knows? It's not going to be me, that's for sure. But congratulations to the winners. Well done, TDs, as always, for putting on a fantastic event.
If Marty's back in the field, which he probably will be as his home course, basically, he will be very, very tough to beat out on that course, as he always is when he plays that course. Also, a little shameless or shameful, I guess I should say, admission here. I had to Google what XL was in Roman numerals. Yikes. I felt like a dum-dum doing that. But also Roman numerals are confusing. There's math in the numbers, and that's not fair to me. Even though math was one of my favorite subjects in high school. But we're going to move on. We're going to move past that. We don't need to talk about high school Robbie. We are going to move on now to some Ontario news, and we do have a little bit of general news. Applications to host Ontario Provincials in 2027 are now open. Details can be found on the ODSA website. Proposals due by the end of the day on September 11th. So get your proposals in. I saw they posted on Facebook a reminder for this, and I saw a lot of people tagging or just mentioning their favorite courses that they think should get an application in. And we've got so many options across Ontario for great courses that could host a provincial championship. So TDs, if you are interested in that, get your applications in. Speaking of provincials, a friendly reminder that players who have qualified for provincials this year should complete their registrations for the event as soon as they can. This is also a reminder for me, who is somebody who has qualified but has not completed my registration yet. This really helps the TDs plan for the event. I know Angelica sent out a email reminder recently and is posting on the disc golf scene. So get on that so you can help out Angelica and the rest of the TD team. I'm just trying to sneak in Angelica as many times as I can so I can do that. It's only a month away. Can you believe that, Shawnee G? Provincials only a month away. And if you're looking to qualify, there aren't many chances left. The only event that has space left, because I think there's Niagara as well. Is there another one other than Niagara? Well, there's
ECAN.
also this one. ECAN. Oh, yes, ECAN's coming up this weekend.
But
Registration
registration's either closed or it is full for those, I believe.
Yes, I would assume probably closed, being a Tuesday before the tournament, but you never know. But there is still space left for the Nickel City Open out in Sudbury on Labor Day weekend. Still space left there, and that is, I believe, the official last chance to qualify before Provincials, which will only be a couple weekends after that. Yeah, I think that's the last OCC stop. So definitely, you have something there, Shawnee G?
No, I was just gonna say, I believe it's like the following week.
Is it?
Or is
When's,
no, Ficklewood is the following week. Provincials
Yes.
is 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah. Sudbury, Ficklewood, Provincials. I should know this because I was talking with a friend of the show, Brady Belanger, recently at well, he mentioned it to me at the Mayhem that he was going into a stretch of like eight straight weekends with tournaments, going all the way through Provincials. So God help his old and achy bones. But that's gonna do it. So make sure you sign up if you're looking for a last chance to qualify. You got the Nickel City Open, and if you are already qualified, nudge nudge to myself, get on and complete your registration so that Angelica and the rest of the tournament team have an easier time. All right, Shawnee G, let's throw it on over to you for some registration talk.
We still have some tournaments that are opening for registration soon. We've got the Mountain View Color Tourney, the annual Mountain View Color Tourney, going down at St. Joseph Island up near Sault Ste. Marie. It's going down on October 3rd. Registration for that opens up on August 30th. Next, we've got a TD Academy Spruce Giving. This is one of the PDGA TD Academy tournament series. If you recall, we had one at Niagara. We had one at TNT earlier this year where people can sign up to the TD Academy, learn how to run sanctioned events, and then put on an event. And I believe the TD for this one is White Spruce's own Wesley Watto, Mr. Blue himself. He's the TD. I think we've got assistant TDs of Shenanigans or something like that. It should be a lot of fun. Registration for that opens on August 26th, and the event goes down on August 10th. Then we've got an MVP space race going down at Marilyn Bell Park in Toronto. This is put on by the Marilyn Bell Glow League. Well done to Dan Rice with the Glow Club there. Registration opens on August 20th, and the event is October 21st. This is one of those 2-disc challenges. You get 2 glow discs, so it is perfect for the Marilyn Bell Glow League. And then lastly, one of the top courses of Ontario has its second event of the calendar year. We've got the Five Sisters Fall Open. What a fantastic course. Robbie, I don't think you've been out there to play it yet, if I recall. You definitely should consider this one. This is going down on October 24th and 25th. It's a 2-day B tier, 23 holes per round. Registration for this also opens up on August 20th. Yeah, can't say enough good things about the Five Sisters course.
Breaks my heart that it is on the same weekend as the Bronte Creek Classic. And as the defending champion, I have to go and defend my title. That's also a tournament that I'll just never miss. It was the first tournament I ever played in 2018. And I've played, I think, like the last 4 or 5 now in a row, Bronte Creek Classics. Love that event. So unfortunately, for the same way that Yeet and the Heat popped up, and I really wanted to play, but it was on the same weekend as Knock, and I was already committed to playing that. I will be at Bronte Creek for this one, but I will get out. I know they usually do a spring event as well, so hopefully next year in the spring when Five Sisters hosts their opening tournament, I will be out there for that because yeah, I've heard great things. There's also one tournament, Shawnee G, that you actually missed, and I have to shout it out because it is another TD Academy event. This is the Whitewater Ottawa Valley Open. It is going to be, it's at Whitewater Ottawa Valley Disc Golf, which is in Forester Falls, Ontario. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but this is going to be held on September 27th, being hosted by the one and only Marc-Andre Comtois. I saw that this only popped up recently on my Facebook, but I saw Mark, who I've played many tournaments with in MA1. I saw he posted something on social media about it, and when you brought up the TD Academy, that reminded me. So, got to give a little shout out there. I'm assuming, based on the fact that it is Whitewater, Ottawa Valley, that it is a bit of a trek from us here in southwestern Ontario. But if you were able to, definitely put that one on your calendar. Another great TD Academy event.
Reason why I missed it, I think, is registration is already open for that.
Yes.
So definitely check out Disc Golf Scene and jump on that event. Yeah, September 27th. Looks like fun one. I do not know this course at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Love seeing new events. Love seeing new tournament directors, and love seeing it on courses that I have never heard of.
See, Forester's Falls is out towards. Oh wow, it is. It is about. Let's see, how far out of Ottawa is this? This is actually kind of way up there. It is about an hour and 16 minutes west, slightly north of Ottawa, basically almost directly on the Quebec border.
Cool. Pretty underserved area for tournaments, I'm going to suspect. So that is great to have a new tournament director
100%.
in that up there. And congrats to them for doing the TD Academy thing. We'd love to see it.
100%.
We also have a few events that are coming up in the next couple of weeks that still have space available. First, we've got the Guelph MVP Circuit Challenge going down at Eastview on August 21st. There's also the Haute Goat Disc Swap. It's an event where you can buy and sell discs from your collection and then play a fun casual round out on the course out on August 23rd. We've also got the Cedar Creek Challenge. Somehow that still has space available. Going down August 29th and 30th. You have different divisions playing different days. Registration for that closes August 25th. And then lastly, the Paris Memorial is going down on September 6th, and registration for that closes August 30th. That's it for registrations.
Booyah. We are slowly creeping towards the end of the disc golf season. Although really it's not that slowly. This season is just absolutely blown by. But of course, we've still got a little bit of summer and then the fall. Oh man, I can't wait for the fall. I love disc golf in the fall so much. I know you love disc golf in the fall because that means that you're going down to MVP Open at some point.
I can't believe we are less than 40 days away from the MVP
wow.
Open. Like, I can't wait.
Crazy.
I'm going to camp again, it feels like.
All the what do you call the people on your hole?
My splashies?
Your splashies.
The splashies out on hole 14. Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm assuming that's where you're going to be again.
Yeah, I'll be back out on hole 14 as the tournament official for that hole. Yeah, I can't wait.
Nice. Hopefully we get another. Was it 2 years ago that Matty O hit that ace on that hole, or was that last year?
It was 2 years ago. Yeah,
2 years ago.
Yeah. Can't wait. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully some more flair. No, there will definitely be energy on that hole. That is a guarantee. Absolute guarantee. All right, moving on now to our Pro Tour recaps. We'll do a quick little run through the Pro Tour here. First, we have two events to recap since our last episode. First, the Discmania Challenge happening out in Des Moines, Iowa. Ella Hansen takes down the win in FPO over Cat Merch in second, with Katrina Allen finishing in third. Much like I've talked about on the podcast this year, I haven't really been paying that close attention to the Pro Tour. This was one that I caught a little bit of a great finish. Ella and Kat were tied going into the last hole, came down to putts on the final hole. Kat was a little bit further out, came up just a little short, and then Ella. I mean, great for Ella. I think that's a spot that a lot of people, if Ella missed that putt in that situation with all that pressure, there's a lot of people that would have been like, "Oh, this is what Ella does," but nah, she shuts up the haters, cans the putt, takes down the win. I believe this is now like 3 or 4 straight years. I think 3 straight years that Ella has had a win on the Pro Tour. So amazing job there. On the MPO side, one of my favorite stories of the year so far, Evan Smith. Evan Smith, Mr. Household Name, if you're a fan of the Upshot podcast, absolutely demolishes the field. I think he won by 8 strokes in the end, and I think was basically just coasting by the end. Probably could have been by even more than that. Just absolutely incredible. Incredible. Yeah, he won by 8 strokes over Gannonburr. I'm just quickly pulling it up
It went
beside me.
bogey
He
bogey
also
on the
had
last 2 holes.
bogey on the last two as he was coasting in. So could have had a 10-stroke win. This also had maybe one of the funniest on mic commentary moments of the season when they were talking about, biggest wins in Pro Tour history or whatever. And we got a Josh Anton was fresh out of prison to comment from Nate Perkins.
For killing a guy.
It was, wait, did he say that? I don't remember that part.
No, that's why he was in jail.
Oh my goodness, holy cow. Okay, I didn't know that part of the story. But it was absolutely hilarious listening to a disc golf broadcast and then just hearing the words straight out of prison in a disc golf broadcast. That made me laugh really hard.
I wish I could have seen Philo's expression, because
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God,
it would have been incredible. Like, it would have been instant meme. But sadly, we did not get it.
Absolutely. But Evan bogeys the last 2 holes, so he could have won by even more. And still, in the end, averaged 1080 for the event. He was on pace to break, or like potentially break, the all-time ratings average for a 3 rounds tournament, because he went 1076 and then 1109 in round 2, and 1109 rated neg 15. He was 12 for 12 C1X putting, 2 for 3 C2. The guy was just absolutely automatic. And I don't think there was nobody on the planet that was beating Evan Smith that weekend. He beats Gannonburr by 8 strokes. Oh, and Austin Turner by 8 strokes, who both finished tied for second. So incredible performance there from Evan Smith. And funny enough, I was trying to bring this up with somebody recently. I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, "Oh, the guy that won Des Moines. Like, why am I already blanking on his name?" So, Mr. Household Name needs to become a little bit more of a household name, because I still can't remember Evan Smith. Just the most NPC name ever. But incredible performance there from Mr. Household Name. Shawnee G, let's throw it over to you for any of your thoughts coming out of DMC.
Just want to give one shout out to a friend of the show and Canadian Tour player Rebecca Dawn. Finished a very, very, very solid 9th place. This was her 6th top 10 finish on tour this season. So good. Well done. And she had a 974 tournament average. Really just a great event for her. Congratulations, Rebecca, and I think it sets her up well for a strong finish towards the end of the season. Just continues to have a fantastically great breakout year.
I agree with that 100%. And continuing to get more and more recognition on the Pro Tour as well, which is awesome to see. More and more people are starting to recognize that she is quite the talent, and obviously still incredibly young and only getting better. So the future is bright for Dalla Dalla Don, as Shawnee G coined last year, I think, sometime last year. I don't remember when you did that, but I actually commented. I think it was Jomez posted a highlight clip of Rebecca making a big C2 putt. I think it might have been from a drop zone actually, and I commented "Dalla Dalla Don," and that got a whole bunch of likes. Gave you absolutely zero credit for it too.
Yeah, that sounds
So
right.
there you go.
She's currently she's currently 12th place on the Pro Tour standings.
Wow.
So good. So good.
Incredible. After narrowly missing out on the Pro Tour Championship last year, she is currently comfortably within the cut line. And like you said, I expect her to finish pretty strong at some of these events coming up. So maybe even get into the top 10 of the Disc Golf Pro Tour world standings by the end of the season. That would be incredible. Moving on now to what may have been my favorite event of the season so far. This event I don't think could have gone any better, and was just so much fun to watch. The DGPT Doubles Championship at the Preserve, of course, doubles event. It was 2 rounds of best shot followed by a final round of alt shot, which I think set up for the most drama. Why am I having trouble saying that word? Set up for the most drama you could possibly have down the stretch, with obviously with best shot, teams aren't really separating that much. There's teams shooting really hot scores, but then the alt shot is when things, there's bogeys starting to come into play now, and things are getting a lot tougher, especially since they really toughened up the Preserve course for this event as well. And it made for some absolute cinema. In the FPO division, we had maybe the worst team name I've ever seen in doubles. Team Allen/Saarinen. Take a guess at who that is. Of course, Katrina Allen,
But really,
and
like,
Silva.
the most appropriate name for those two players.
That's true. If there's any two people that it makes sense for, it's Katrina Allen and Silva Saarinen. Which is actually hilarious. So they took down the win, and it's kind of hilarious because Silva, I don't know if I just noticed it at this one in particular, but she just looks like she just wants to get the hell out of there after a tournament. She's like, I don't want to do this interview and have people cheering for me. Just give me my trophy and let me leave. I did my job. Get me out of here.
He's very Finnish.
So yeah, that's also a good point. They took down the win in a playoff over Team California Girls, which was Owen Scoggins and Taylor Chosek. Actually, my pick to win going into the event. I thought they were going to be amazing together, and it proved it. Taylor had some unbelievable throws out there, and then of course Owen's putting was dialed. Unfortunately, he actually came down to an Owen missed putt is basically what gave Allen and Saarinen the win. And then tied for third, we had Team Twins, which was friend of the show, Holland Hanley and Addison Woodard, and Team Goat Money. I absolutely love that team name. Paige Pierce and Missy Gannon tying for third as well. Electric down the stretch. It was so much fun to watch. And then on the MPO side, we had Team Ham and Legs. Ricky Wysocki and Adam Ham is another great name. They came all the way from the third card to take down the win over Nuggets, Gavin Babcock and Nicholas Antala, and the Robinson bros, Isaac Robinson and Ezra Robinson. I'd say a pretty basic name, but when you are literally brothers, I think that it flies in that instance. Yeah, and just an amazing tournament. It was unfortunately had to miss some of the MPO final round. I did get to watch the highlights afterwards. Gannon Burr and Calvin Heimberg, everybody thought were just going to absolutely run away with it. They didn't. There was some really cool teams out there. Scott Stokely was playing with Dallas Garber. Gotta be the biggest age gap in a disc golf doubles team that I've ever seen. We had who were some other ones? We had Team 5G. I really liked that one. That of course is Double G, Garrett Gerthy, and then the 3Gs of Greg for Greg Barsby, which is hilarious. I always forget that there's he does the GREGG 3Gs in the first name. So there was just so much fun out there. I really hope that this comes back next year. If anybody that is a fan of the Upshot podcast as well, they had on the TD before the tournament. And it asked them something about, do they want to go back to just singles play and whatnot? And he sounded like they were pretty much embracing the doubles vibe. And I think it sets up perfectly for that tournament in particular too, because of the land that they have, the camping aspect, and everything that they're able to do there as well. So you can have I can almost see it turning into what GBO used to be, where that was the big AM thing, where if you were an AM and were going to go to a pro tournament, you were going to go to GBO because it was where you were going to meet so many AMs. I can see this turning into something like that too, because it's a lot of fun to watch. You get more people to watch because if you're going out, let's say you're a Simon Lizotte fan, well, you're guaranteed that Simon's going to be on a card with Eagle McMahon every single round because they're partners. You could maybe throw in an AM event leading up to it to give AMs even more reason to come down. I don't know. There's so much good about this event. Shawnee G, let's throw it over to you. Give me some of your thoughts.
What an event. This was so much fun. So much fun to watch. I love the changes to the course that they put in to make the course harder. The preserve has been a shred fest, birdie or die kind of thing in the past, and they tightened it up a lot. And they added hazard all over the place. They added OB. It was a great course. They really you could tell the difference, when it was best shot doubles. I mean, the course was absolutely annihilated, minus 16, shredded. But it showed its teeth when it became alternate shot. You had Gannon Burr throwing OB twice on a single hole and taking a triple bogey. Him and Calvin Heimberg. It was fantastic. Want to give shout out to a couple extra team names here. So Paul Macbeth was originally signed up with AB to play, and their team name was 18 Majors and Counting. And so I want to give a shout out to PJ Lenz and Ben Moralf or something like that. 0 Majors and Counting. Love that team name.
There was another one on there that was Crush-ish Boys or something like that.
Boys, who came in dead last. Fantastic. Love that. And then also want to give a shout out to friend of the show, Rebecca Cox and Haiti Line, whose team was Cox in the Fast Line. What a great, what a hilariously great name.
I love that.
So good. So good. There were 4 aces during the event, so we got to shout those out. I'm pretty sure I got because it was doubles. I think I know who got the shots for all of them. Apologies to the pros if I got them wrong, but I know you're not listening, so it's fine. First, it was in FPO. It was Danny Hart getting an ace. Then there was Greg Double G Barsby. He got one. Nicholas Ontala got one. And then a shot that made the Sports Center, ESPN was a Sports Center top number 1 shot. Sure, that. But they got his name wrong. They called him Ryan Wysocki, but close enough. It was Ricky Wysocki who got an ace there. And then lastly, we give a shout out, of course, to friend of the show, Rebecca Dawn. She played with her friend Trinity Bryant, team The Donity. and they came in 13th place, which unfortunately was out of cash, but I'm sure they had a great time.
Yeah, how can you not have fun at a doubles event? I just wanted to pull this up. So for reference, over 3 rounds, which included 2 rounds of best shot doubles, Ricky Wysocki and Adam Hammes shot 36 under par. Across 3 rounds at last year's tournament in singles, Gannon Burr shot 42 under par. So Gannon shot more under par in singles than what they shot in doubles this year. Just to give you a little example of how
Calvin Heimberg really slowing him down.
right? Yeah. Although to be honest, I think it was like hole 5 or something in the final round. They both went OB back-to-back shots, like shank jobs. It was crazy. Oh yeah,
shot into the lake.
Gannon last year at this event went 11 under, 16 under, and then 15 under. And the 11 under was the 16 under wasn't even rated 1099, or wasn't even rated 1100. It was 1099.
Shredfest. This is so much better. Go ahead.
He also had a bogey and an eagle. He had, Jesus, what is that? 16 birdies, a bogey, and an eagle. What the hell? Jesus. But anyways,
this is so much better use of this course. I'm so excited that they want to keep it on as a doubles championship. I love that it's a different format. I really like the 2 rounds of best shot and 1 round of alternate shot.
It's up for an electric finish.
And that the players had to pick their tee order Friday night.
Yes.
They weren't able to freestyle it on the day of the event. Yeah. It was a fantastic event. So much fun. Definitely one that people should watch if they didn't have a chance to watch it. Because it was super cool.
Absolutely. I also just want to give I'm going to give a quick little scroll by here just to mention a couple of my other favorite team names. We've got where was it? I just had it. Chasing Snakes. I really like that one because that has Jake Hebenheimer on the card, which if you know anything about Jake Hebenheimer, the man loves his snakes. So that's a really good one. Chicken Tacos, Mason Ford and Chris Dickerson. I really like that one. I don't know if anyone calls Chris Dickerson Robot Chicken anymore, but I do remember that. Bucket O'Hare, Gavin Phillips and Joey Buckets, Joseph Anderson. Really like that one. It's Modelo time. That's a vibe. That's a whole vibe. 4 meters of man, James Conrad and Connor O'Reilly. Not really sure what that means, but
they're both really tall guys. Yeah,
that's true.
Connor, I think, is taller than I am.
Dumb and Dumber, and then oh my God, I mentioned them as a team, but I didn't even realize what their team name was. We got Dallas Garber and some old guy. Just some old guy. And then of course got to shout out a couple of FPOs as well. Eminem, I really like that one. Eliezer Midling and Emily Weatherman. We got Craving a Win, Sarah Hokum and Hannah Wynn. That's a really good one. The Donity, of course. Two Hot Geese, of course. And then Kelsey and Greg, Cynthia Ricciotti and Leah Sinagini.
Sure.
Shout out to Kelsey and Greg.
Yeah. I wonder what that's all about.
I love doubles. I personally, usually, if I'm in a doubles event, I go Talk Birdie to me. That's usually my team name. I've been wanting to at some point do a spoof of the song Talk Dirty to Me, but Talk Birdie to Me and just make it all disc golf lyrics. I'll get on that at some point. But yeah, fantastic event. And I mean, I don't know. I would like to even see if they added another doubles and there was 2 during the season. I wouldn't even mind that. But at least having this one back yearly as a doubles championship, I think is definitely needed. It was a overwhelming success, I would say, from a fan's perspective as somebody that was watching at home. All right, we got a few other topics to cover before we let everybody go. Of course, the PDGA World Championships are coming up. Shawnee G, I saw you added in some things here, and you will be down there for the event. So let's throw it on over to you.
That's right, Robbie. I am heading down to Michigan this Saturday. I'll be there for a week for the PDGA World Championships. As we mentioned earlier in the show, they are going down at the Kensington Metro Park. It's about 45 minutes to an hour west of Detroit. It's happening on the Toboggan and Black Locust courses. We've already talked about those enough, so I won't get into them. We've got a bunch of Canadians in the field, as you would imagine, being so close. We've got
And
friends
also
of the
apparently
show.
one on the wait list.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. We got Marty Hendel, Thomas Gilbert, Kat Johnson, Chantel Badinsky, Rebecca Dawn, and Quebec's Karen Martel. And yeah, still on the wait list, Sophia Dunica and Alyssa Saunders. Sophia
Did you
has
see
not.
Sophia's comment?
Yeah. So
Oh,
there was a graphic that was showing, like a hype graphic showing different countries that were going to be at the event and sort of
from
three
the
players.
official account of Pro Worlds.
Yeah. Star Wars sort of poster style with like the heads of like three of the players. And one of them for Team Canada was, of course, Sophia Dunica. And her comment was, "So could I get off the wait list?" And I messaged her, "Word."
Yeah. How do
So
you
hopefully
include somebody in a graphic for an event when they're still on your wait list?
this is a little awkward. I believe there is a Monday qualifier event, so I'm not sure when I think she said she's going to it. So hopefully she gets off the wait list.
I would put pretty good money on Sophia doing well at a Monday qualifier.
You'd
I think
so.
I would like her chances. Oh, of course, she's been off tour for a little bit right now, but coming off
her last event was the Northwest Challenge or Northwest Championship back in Portland.
Right? Yes, their last on tour, and then of course she's coming off her win at the Canadian National Championships. Yeah, love to see Sophia back out on the course. So World's team, what are you doing? Don't make her go through one day qualifying. Just let the girl in. I believe currently highest rated FBO player in Canada. Her Rebecca. I don't know. They've kind of flip-flopped a couple times over the last little while, so it's hard to keep track of who's currently number one. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun event.
Let's do some picks for the tournament. We haven't done picks in a very long time.
Right.
Let's go MPO. Who do you got?
On the MPO side, I am going to. I think I'm just going to take Gannon Burr. I mean, I believe he has won. I think he won Deglo last year. Plays well at this course. Of course, nobody has played, at least on the tour, has played the Black Locust course because that's brand new. Maybe some local guys have been out there, which is why I will also throw out a dark horse, and I will say, friend of the show, Luke Taylor, coming off of a big win recently out at Ledgestone. Yeah, Ledgestone. He's a Michigan guy. I believe I've heard him talk before about at least being on this property. I don't know if he's played the World's layout. So I'll throw out a dark horse pick of Luke Taylor. But I'm going to take Gannon Burr. I mean, he's won Deglo. He's the best player in the world. I think he's probably got a bit of a sour taste for how the doubles event ended. So I think he's going to dominate.
I'm going to take Ricky Wysocki. The man is thirsty. The man is coming off doubles. He has done extremely well here before, and I think he will do very well at Black Locust. So I'm going to go Ricky Wysocki. He has been desperate to get that
breaking his drought
win. He'd break the drought. I think he's going to break the drought. And then over, I'll pick first on FPO.
Wait, you want to throw out a little dark horse?
Dark horse. Luke Taylor was a really good dark horse pick, I gotta
Right.
say.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean, you
go.
could go with his doubles. You could go with his doubles partner.
That's pretty dark.
That's a pretty dark horse. But you could.
Yeah.
He's also a
Yeah,
Michigan.
I mean,
He's also a Michigan guy.
I absolutely could. Man, I would
At
have
least I
taken.
think he's from Michigan.
I don't know where he's from. I don't think he is. I
I know
totally.
Luke is.
I mean, I totally would have picked Luke Taylor because he's a local boy. And I think he will absolutely shred these courses. I guess probably can't pick Gannon Burr as a dark horse.
I don't think that works as a dark horse.
No. Okay. No, okay, it's fine.
And also,
it's fine.
and Andrew Marweed from Alpena, Michigan.
Yeah. Let's go. Kyle Klein's been having a bad season this year.
So he could turn it around for sure.
Yeah,
I think Silas Schultz would also be probably a good dark horse. He's had a good season.
He's pretty dark there. Yeah, you know what? I'll take Silas Schultz. I think he could have.
There you go.
Maybe he could pop off. He did great.
Yeah.
He was looking great at doubles. And so who knows?
He was on lead card at Des Moines at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah. So that'll be my dark horse over in FPO. Let's go. I'm gonna go. I want to take Own. She's one D-Glow.
No doubt the dog.
You never doubt the dog. I don't know that she's going back to back though. So I'll go Evelina Salonen.
Oh, you bastard. Yeah.
She's
so fun.
well rested. Didn't do the Midwest swing. So let's go Evelina.
Yeah, I unfortunately 100% agree with you. Evelina Salonen would be my pick. If I was to give somebody else, I would say I'd go Ella Hansen. I think Ella Hansen can do really well out there, especially in toboggan, a big throwers course. I obviously don't really know anything about Black Locust other than the stuff that I've heard from you and Kat during the interview. So hard to tell there, but I think Ella Hansen could do really well. And then I will throw out a dark horse, and honestly, I think I could pick her to win and not even blink about it. I am so she's the future like dominant force in the FPO game, I think, outside of our Canadian ladies, of course, and that is Kristina Jurjakova. She is coming over from Europe, playing in this event. She's all the way up to 968 rated now. That puts her in this field. She's
10th highest rated player. That's quite a dark horse pick. Yeah. The 10th highest rated player. Not super dark.
If you weren't looking at shady. If you weren't looking at the registration list and you were just listing players in the field in contention, I think it's a while before somebody thinks of Kristina Jurjakova. She just happens to be rated really highly, but I think it's only a matter of time before she gets her first win. And I wouldn't be surprised if I wanted to go with a little bit more standard
actual dark horse.
Wanted to go a little more standard dark horse. By going a little lower rated, I would throw out, just given a little bit of a scroll. I think this is too far down the list. Let's go a little higher.
You can't pick Cynthia Klesberga because that is, as always, Galen's pick.
That's true. That's true. She's only up to 958 rated now. Holy cow. She was the lowest rated player in a field 2 years ago when we picked her.
It was a year. Yeah. Not this year, but last year's European Disc Golf Festival. She was sub 900 rated and she's all the way up to 958.
Crazy. I guess for my dark horse pick, I would go And also like this one almost feels less dark horse than Christina because she's already been on this stage in this moment,
I
going
know who you're
to a
gonna pick.
playoff last year at the World Championships, and that's
Mhm.
Ida Letamaki.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's a reasonable dark horse pick.
Mm.
And yeah. I'm gonna go. Hmm. Hmm. Looking at it's interesting. Like you look at the list of players here, and like Rebecca is, was would we say 12th in the world? But her player rating, I don't think reflects that yet.
No.
Because she's down around like 20th. I'm sort of eyeballing the list here. She's maybe like ranked 20th in term by rating. But I don't think we can pick her as a dark horse. I think I already have her in my picks team, my fantasy team with us as my dark
She's
horse.
the 18th highest rated in the field.
Okay. So I won't pick her. Let's go. Let's go ATM. Annalie Tugias Monaste.
Yeah.
Same player rating
ATM.
as
How have I never heard someone call her ATM before?
I have no idea. Same player rating as Ida Letamaki. So we'll have a nice little player rating challenge here. Both 959. Estonia versus Finland. This will be fun.
Heck yeah. I don't think in the 2.5 years, whatever, that we've been doing this podcast, I don't think there's a name that has that initially on first look scared me as much as Annalie Togias Monaste.
To pronounce.
There are so many accents all over that name. I was like, how do you pronounce that? And then I heard it and I was like, okay, that's easier than I thought. But at first glance, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to butcher this on the podcast,
Christina
which I
Yersikova
do with
is
other names.
same.
Yes, yeah, Christina Yurchikova. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the European names, they get crazy sometimes. They get crazy. Speaking of Christina Yurchikova, I just wanted to pull this up because it is absolutely wild. June 11th, 2024. So what's that? Just over 2 years ago now. She was sub 900 rated.
Mm-hmm.
She was 896 rated. By the start of first update of 2025, she's already up to 934. July of this year, she hits 970 and then just took a 2 points drop down to 968, but got to a career high of 970 when 2 years ago she was sub 900 rated. That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. And I think she's like 18, 19, something like that. So just these, I don't know what they're putting in the water out in Europe, but these young European, especially these young European ladies, the FBO division has got to watch out. There are some killers coming for the division soon. All right. I think, Shawnee G, anything else to add for Worlds?
Yeah, one more thing. I didn't even realize that this was going down, but on this Saturday, when I'm unfortunately heading to the course, but I'm going to miss it, there is the 2026 Professional Worlds Mixed Doubles event.
Wow.
This is really cool. I love the mixed doubles event. This is super cool.
Sure.
I'm not sure which course it's going down on. It's probably Toboggan, but I'm not sure. Either way, again, as always.
I was just saying, I don't know if we want to do picks, but there are some good names in this field.
I was just going to say, there's some good names we want to highlight here. First, list is sorted alphabetical. We've got Rebecca Dawn and her boyfriend, Andrew Miranda, Team Americanada. Love that. We've got Chandler Ray and Clay Edwards, Team Crunch Wrap Supreme. And I'll shout out one more, and then you can pick one. Gavin Babcock and Ella Hansen, Team Ella Fellas.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. What was the second one you said there?
I said the Crunchwrap Supremes.
Yeah, Crunchwrap Supreme. I like that one a lot. We're Quacked, Kevin Jones and Cynthia Ricciotti. That's a pretty good one. The Next Gens, I mean, that's just pretty baller to call that. And that's MJ Gagger and Silas Williams. I'm not sure who Silas is, but MJ is she's like 13 or something like that,
think
and
so, yeah.
she's a
She can
baller,
smash.
absolutely balls. Yeah, not sure who Silas is, but I'm assuming a young from Mississippi. Any junior events this year? Nope, not this year. So maybe he's not a junior, but any junior last year? Nope, not last year either. Okay, that's as much effort as I'm putting into that search. Let's see. Is there? Yeah, there's It's Clobbering Time. That's a good one. Dream Team, Paige Pierce, Jake Ebenheimer. Smaller field than the doubles that we just recapped at the Preserve, but some really good names in there. Boogie Woogie Woogies. I like that one as well. Kyle Klein and Emily Weatherman. All right, Shawnee G. Anything else to add before we wrap up the show? All righty, that is going to do it for this episode of Missed Mando. You can find all our previous episodes on YouTube and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook if you search Missed Mando Podcast. We hope you have a great time the next couple of weeks. Maybe you're playing the Sandy Hollow Open, and I hope I see you there because I will be there. Or the Eastern Canadian Amateur Nationals, the Greater Niagara Fall Classic. Sean actually put this in as the Greater Niagara Falls Classic. Common misconception. It's actually the Niagara Fall Classic because it takes place in the fall. The more you know, Shawnee G, the more you know. PDGA World, or maybe the Ontario Junior Championships. There is so much going on. I hope everybody has a blast. For Sean Galbraith, I'm Robbie Holden saying so long, and we will see you on the course.
I actually got it, but my mic was muted.